Another road-heavy week for the Wisconsin Badgers. Games Tuesday night in Iowa City, Friday evening in East Lansing, Michigan. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from the games against the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Michigan State Spartans. We'll also check in with Brad Davison, who has really been toughing it out this season with the shoulder injury, but playing through it as best he can. And also the connection between Trice and Aleem Ford, going back to their days at the IMG Academy before they became Badgers. We'll have our weekly sit-down with head coach Greg Gard as he discusses a sounding board that he's been using here this season throughout the time he's been the head coach. The name will be very familiar. It's all coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
And we are underway at the Breslin Center. Michigan State man-to-man. Khalil Iverson against Miles Bridges. Throwing to Brad Davison. Matched up with Langford. Now Pritzel open, catching, shooting for three, splashed it. Brevin Pritzel gets Wisconsin started 3-0 Badgers here. And on the shot clock. Davison off the high screen from half. Pulls up at the foul line. Throws to Ethan. He'll feed Ilikainen. Left corner three in the air and good. Alex Ilikainen with a three-point hit. 7-6 Michigan State about 4 minutes in. Beats Davison again with the shot clock at 10. Brad high on the left. Throwing to Reavers. Left of the lane. Moving in on Jackson. Low on the left. Takes it right. On the reverse layup. Good. First points for Nate Reavers. It's 37-23 Michigan State. Ethan. Baseline right against Gavin Schilling. Backing him in. Right block. Turns. Goes up and in. Ethan Happ with his first bucket of the game. Goes to Maish. Flips it to Khalil Iverson, left side, drives off the wing. Khalil in the lane, goes up right block, good, off the glass. Iverson was 6, and it's 39-29 Michigan State. Happ looking, throwing to Maish again on the right side, leads it for Happ. Low on the right as Ethan takes it, left on the reverse, got it. Counted and a foul. Ethan Happ getting involved. Reavers will give it to Davison high on the left. And contested by McQuaid. Davison pounding the dribble with 8 to shoot. Brad the drive, right lane line to the rim, layup good. Davison was 6, 43-34 Michigan State. Davison and Reavers play catch, 15 on the shot clock. Davison on the dribble. Gives it to Reavers to the line, down the lane, floats it up right hand, back rim and in. Nice bounce for Nate Reavers. Badgers within 7. Happ backing on Ward. Backing, now turns, stops low on the left, doubled again, darts at the Pritzel, shot fake from 3, now drives down the lane, one pump, low on the left, up and in. Boy, that's some crafty work by Brevin Pritzel. 46-38 Michigan State. Davison darts at the Pritzel, right of the wheel, he'll throw to Reavers, high on the left, feeds Happ, Ethan backing, left block, left shoulder turn, up right hand, money. Ethan Happ with 2 more. 46-40 Michigan State. This is Wisconsin basketball. Stolen by Ethan Happ. Happ to the rim, and he hammers it down with the right hand. He'll drive to the goal and hammers it down. New York City, the Badgers are coming your way. This is left open, snaps off a 3 and drills it. Out the 4 for 3, left of the circle, tie game.
The Badger Sports Report is brought to you by Hy-Vee. Where there's a helpful smile in every aisle, Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers.
Do you want to know how to avoid the return line this year? Just ask for gifts you won't want to return. Well, I'm not going to need this receipt.
Ring in the new year at your Buick dealer. Experience the new Buick and get 18% below MSRP on almost every remaining 2017 Envision model. That's over $7,500 on this Buick Envision Essence.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
Hi, this is Coach Greg Gard. inviting you to join the Badger Basketball Booster Club. As a member of the Booster Club, you will have the opportunity to participate in a variety of great events, including pregame chalk talks, golf outings, and an away game bus trip. The Boosters play a vital role in assisting our staff and student athletes through fundraising and sponsorship. For additional information on joining the club, please call 608-265-6161. There's no better way to show your support than to join the Badger Basketball Boosters.
New Year's resolution, Sue?
I'm getting the whole house organized. And the sales saved me hundreds. You?
Started with the garage. But these are gonna be great.
Yeah.
Visit your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Get 18% below MSRP on the most popular remaining 2017 GMC ACADIA models. That's over $9,100 below MSRP on a GMC ACADIA Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
Now Iverson right side, feeds Pritzel, rotates to Davison. Shot clock at 10. Badgers working the perimeter. Iverson bounces for Thomas. Long two. Baseline right is good. And Charlie Thomas with 4 points off the bench. Half outside right. Finds a back cutting Iverson to the rim, and he'll lay it up and in. And Iverson with 8 in this first half of the Badgers. Iverson at the top of the circle. Now driving on Nunji. Khalil goes up and got it. It counts and a foul. Khalil Iverson. Now Davison throwing it to Pritzel. Refeeds Davison, top of the circle, out to Pritzel. Thought about it, turned it down. Davison will let it fly. Left of the circle, drilled it. 3-point hit for Brad Davison, his first points of the game. Happ under the 3-point line. Baseline left, starts the back on Wagner, turns to the baseline. Reverse layup is good. Happ sizing him up and going to work. Badgers within 4. Rebound Happ for Wisconsin. Ethan on the dribble through the center circle to the front court. Goes inside to Pritzel, low on the right layup, good. Pritzel running the floor. 12:45 remaining, Happ backing, low on the left, working on Garza and finishing. Happ determined there. Out between the rings, sends to Davison, feeds Schlutt. TJ tries a 3 left corner, air ball. And the rebound of Thomas, low on the right. Charlie gets the rebound and the putback, he has 8. Happ with the steal. He has Thomas in front of him, gives it to Charlie, and he spikes it with the right hand. Thomas has 10, 58-44 Iowa. Pritzel on the right wing. Bounces it to Happ. Ethan backing, splits a double team, goes up, good. It counts and a foul. Happ with an and one. He now has 14 points tonight, 10 in the second half. And now Iowa releases that. Happ front court on the right side. Bounce pass to Ford, turns to Davison, now to Pritzel for 3 left corner, it's good. Evan Pritzel, first 3-point hit for him tonight.
Badgers hit the halfway point of the Big Ten season, very road-heavy portion of the schedule, and now the remaining 9 regular season games, 6 will be here at the Kohl Center. And Greg, we talked a lot about you guys, this very young team navigating a brutally difficult schedule, non-conference, and then all the travel in conference play. And it's reminded a lot of folks who've been around here of what Dick Bennett went through with a very young team, challenging schedule 20 years ago. And I mention that because I know we've talked in the show before about you having conversations with other coaches. Right. It doesn't have to be sports specific, but in this case, maybe it matters because you and Dick Bennett have developed a pretty good rapport, haven't you?
Yeah, and he's reached out, reflecting back on 20 years ago to talk about some things that he went through with his team and what to look out for, what maybe the landmines were that he went through. So he's been extremely helpful in terms of he reached out via phone and via letter, as he usually does. He's got great penmanship and sends off personal notes a lot. And we've talked pretty consistently here through this. And obviously he watches from afar, but has been a great sounding board in terms of somebody that's gone through that and understands what it's like and the trials and tribulations with dealing with very young players.
Without getting into too many specifics of a private conversation, you know, there are things that you two can talk about that you two only would know, right? I mean, the rest of us on the outside, you see it from a fan's point of view or an observer. There are 1 or 2 nuggets that you can share of things that you know, I'm sure there's many things that Dick has said that resonates, right? But 1 or 2 in particular is like, yeah, I know exactly, makes perfect sense now, the steps that you need to take.
I think one thing that he really has hit on is he understands how I feel and what my feelings are. He's hit those almost to a T. It's almost like he could read my mind in terms of what I feel and what I'm seeing and what I'm going through personally, but also for our team, you know, you have to balance the patience and the positivity with the continue to demand and continue to hold high expectations, and that balance sometimes can flip one way or the other, and just be cautious of that, of how you navigate through it. But I think that, you know, the overall consensus or overall observation from him is he understands that in the long run, as hard as it is and as painful it is right now, I know maybe people on the outside think it's painful, not near as much as what it is on the inside at times, but in the long run, it'll help our players grow as we get through this. And like I said, we got to continue to improve and take every day. I think that's one thing too, that just find the small successes in every day as we move through this.
I've always saw one of the things with Dick Bennett, of the many things that I've just admired forever about him, is that he stuck to the principles. He wasn't going to change it for a quick fix, all of a sudden revamp what you do offensively, defensively. So one of the key things that you guys as coaches say, hey, you know, this works.
Right.
We got to stick with this.
Right. We just need to, and that's what we've done here over the last 18 years. Of stuck with what we believe in and what has proven to work, time tested, and getting better at that, rather than trying to, like you said, find quick fixes and try to change every single thing. Let's get better at a few small, simple things and watch guys grow through that process.
It's the entire team, but I go back to 20 years ago in the makings of that group with Kelly and Kowski and Vershaw, and you know, with Mike Kelly, I think maybe as much as anybody became that leader, the go-to guy. You have Davison, Reavers, Kobe, King, who everybody will enjoy watching next year. I mean, you're focused on everybody, obviously, but I would imagine that young group, just seeing their enthusiasm every day, their eagerness to learn, that drives everybody else, perhaps, right?
Absolutely. I mean, they've stepped into a very uncommon ground here over the last 15, 18 years, where freshmen, a lot's been put on their plate as freshmen. Usually they're playing 10 minutes a game, if that, and they've both been put into, obviously Nate and Brad been put into more significant roles, but I think our older guys too have the development here recently of Khalil Iverson, how Charlie Thomas has started to practice better, played pretty well at Iowa. So we're starting to see some things of other guys, older guys that maybe haven't had as many at-bats, so to speak, as much experience, starting to maybe emerge a little bit and get a true taste of what it takes, but also how that commitment can pay off down the road. That's
an important point you bring up. I think all of us, you look for it's now, but there have been a number of players here through the years who it's kind of quiet those first couple of years. Obviously, Kaminsky is the glaring example, but there are others that well into their junior, their senior years. I think of a Rob Wilson, his senior year, and you've had others, so who knows?
Right.
You can't say that it's not going to happen with those guys, because there's examples of where it's broken through.
Well, even Frank didn't really bust on the scene until his junior year. So the first 2 years it was relatively quiet, sitting behind older guys. Upperclassmen dominated the lineup or roster, and that's not maybe the case right now. So we're going to continue to move back to that, towards we get more experience at the front end, so to speak, and be able to get it back where we have upperclassmen in those positions to be able to lead the younger guys that are coming through.
Less than a minute left. You actually get to spend a few days at home this week with the Monday and a Thursday home game. Going to be a little shock.
It's going to feel like we're the NFL wildcard team, because we were always on the road here, 5 out of 6 or whatever it was during that stretch. So it will be good, because we've definitely, with a younger team too, I can tell the difference. As much as we try to fight and make sure everything is the same road and home, you can tell a huge difference when our guys are here at the Kohl Center.
All right, Kohl Center. The Badgers will be on Monday night, 8 o'clock tip-off against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And then on Thursday night, 7:30 tip here in Madison against Northwestern. Then it's on the road again on Sunday at Maryland, but 2 home games coming up. Actual back-to-back home games. Coach is back in a few minutes with a great day and great question of the week. Stay with us.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
Pass knocked away by Davison. On the run, Howard chasing Brad to the rim, and the layup is good. The freshman shall try to spark them.
If you've watched a Wisconsin game this year, you're probably aware Brad Davison played quarterback in high school. He had his share of bumps and bruises at the position, but never a shoulder injury like the one he's fighting through this season.
That's the crazy thing, is I never really freaked out. The first time it happened, I kind of just thought, like, let's pop it back in and I'm good to go. Like, I never really thought I could have tore something or I could have broke anything. I kind of immediately clicked in my head that, I was just going to go back to the locker room, pop it in, and come back out.
The injury first occurred in the 4th game of the year against Baylor.
I wasn't really thinking about it as much until I got back in the locker room because I was just trying to keep a straight face. I didn't want to do anything crazy on national TV with it. So I got back in the locker room, and then it definitely hurt. Once it's out, it really hurts when it's out, and it's almost a relief when they pop it back into the socket. And then once it's back in, it feels good.
That wasn't the only time the shoulder has popped out. It's happened once in practice and 3 times in games.
First, I'm just very frustrated because it's either like I can't shoot my free throws or something happened in the game. I'm very frustrated. But then, they kind of calm me down and they just kind of lay me down and they pop it back in.
If there's someone who knows what Davison is going through, it's assistant coach Joe Krabenhoft, who is known to throw his body around in his time at Wisconsin.
It's no big deal to Brad. His injuries aren't to the point in which he can't play, so he's thankful that he's still playing, and I kind of took it the same way. I had a few cuts and bruises, but nothing that kept me off the floor.
He's tough, and it's just like you can learn a lot from him. He's not the average freshman, so just being able to learn from him in practice and just see how he handles everything and how he's a hard worker with every single thing he does, whether it's in the weight room or stretching or just getting shots up after practice. It's been great, and he's just a tough guy, and he's just staying in there.
Game clock at 20. Sims left of the wheel. He's with Davison. Davison goes down. Offensive foul called. Another day, another charge taken by Brad Davison.
While many would cry, woe is me in Davison's situation, the true freshman has an outlook that's wise beyond his years.
There's a lot of possessions throughout the game where it gets nicked or it gets pulled, or I might not be able to do what I want to do with it. But like I said, I just try to forget about it. And I can't complain about it because I'm just very thankful to the Lord keeping allowing me to play because I have 2 teammates who can't. So I don't try to use this as an excuse. I try not to think about it. But there's definitely times with the game where it gets nicked or it gets pulled or it doesn't cooperate with me.
For the Badger Sports Report with Greg Gard, I'm Ryan Wing.
Do you want to know how to avoid the return line this year? Just ask for gifts you won't want to return. Well, I'm not going to need this receipt.
Ring in the new year at your Buick dealer. Experience the new Buick and get 18% below MSRP on almost every remaining 2017 Envision model. That's over $7,500 on this Buick Envision Essence.
Most people don't know that UW Health and the University of Wisconsin are national leaders in the field of kidney transplant. They provide new life for those who will likely die without a transplant, and they assure a normal life for those who donate. I would know. I donated a kidney, and together, we saved a life.
UW Health. Remarkable.
Make all the right moves in the brand new Nissan Rogue Sport. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility Technologies, like automatic emergency braking that can help you stop safely. Automatic emergency braking now on the Nissan Rogue family. Save up to $10,260 on select models or get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
Right of the lane. Gets it out to Iverson. Feeds Ford. 8 to shoot. Ford off the left wing. Baseline left 10-footer is good. Ford with 5 early points. Trice on the dribble inside the 3-point line. Starts a pass to Ford for 3 in the tie. Tie game. Aleem Ford with the triple. 34 off. 48 seconds left in the first half. App left of the lane. Cuts into the paint. Out to Ford for 3. Left of the circle. Tie game. Aleem Ford has hit 2 triples, and they have tied the game on both occasions.
It was honestly a dream come true to go to college for 4 or 5 years with your best friend.
It was 3 years ago when Trice and Aleem Ford met at IMG Academy in Florida. The pair quickly became fast friends at the prep school. Their plan to play together in college intensified when Wisconsin was recruiting Trice, and Ford caught their eye.
It was like a good chance to be able to go to a great program with one of my best friends. We talked about it early on, about if we could find the same school, then it's definitely something we would look into, but I never expected it would be like at a great program like Wisconsin.
It was just kind of a dream that we kind of threw out there, and we had the same kind of mindset to go to the same school, but it wasn't leading up to that. But then when he got that offer, we were kind of like, wow, this could really happen, and then we came on our visit together and just fell in love.
Aleem Ford with the triple.
They committed to UW in April of 2016 and turned their dream into a reality.
I remember the day like it was yesterday, but it was a great feeling. I was nervous. It was just a bunch of like mixed emotions, but once we did it, we were just really happy for each other.
It comes as no surprise then that the duo has quite a connection on and off the court.
I see it probably more than most. You know, they're attached at the hip. They are really, really tight. And on the court, you know, they definitely have some symmetry together. They know where each other's at. They've played more games than most, you know, have played together, and you know, you can definitely see it.
After redshirting last year, Ford is averaging 5.9 points a game this season. And like his roommate helped him when he wasn't playing last year, Ford has been able to return the favor to Trice, who has missed the past 12 games with a foot injury.
I was just able to talk to him after games and stuff like that and make sure that he was keeping his head up if he had a bad game. And then I kind of feel like he's doing the same thing for me now with like the roles being reversed a bit, where I'm playing now and then he has to sit out and watch. So he talks to me sometimes and just sees what he sees, or tells me what he sees now that he's off the floor.
For the Badger Sports Report with Greg Gard, I'm Ryan Wing.
Make all the right moves in the brand new Nissan Rogue Sport. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility Technologies, like automatic emergency braking that can help you stop safely. Automatic emergency braking now on the Nissan Rogue family. Save up to $10,260 on select models, or get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
New Year's resolution, Sue?
I'm getting the whole house organized. And the sales saved me hundreds. You?
Started with the garage. But these are gonna be great.
Yeah.
Visit your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Get 18% below MSRP on the most popular remaining 2017 GMC ACADIA models. That's over $9,100 below MSRP on a GMC ACADIA Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
The Badger Sports Report is brought to you by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Time for this week's Greg and Greg Question of the Week, and we check in with Chad down in Chicago. One of the hot topics in college basketball, Greg, is the conversation about immediate transfers. Not grad transfers we're talking about, not junior college, but undergraduate transfers where perhaps they could play immediately at the next school. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Chad, thanks for your question. You know, I have mixed feelings on that. I think just when you make them immediately eligible and they can transfer, obviously it's only a one-time exception, but usually most kids are transferring only one time, that it really opens Pandora's box in terms of where it almost becomes like the NBA in terms of, you know, those superstar teams or teams that congregate at one place, whether it be Golden State or what we've seen Cleveland, Miami, those type of teams that where everybody congregates at one. That's the fear that I have with this, and it really becomes sort of the wild, wild west of where do we go and how do players migrate from program to program. You know, we already have a little bit of that with the grad transfers, and I know that's impacted specifically the mid-major schools. There's been some discussion about changing some of those rules too, to have scholarships count for 2 years. So I think we're trying to, as a coaches association and as a rules committee, trying to find the happy medium where it allows players to have that freedom and choice to be able to go, but also at the same time tries to protect some programs from maybe being rated, so to speak, at the mid-major, which has been an issue. But I know transfers are, whether it be grad transfers, four-year transfers, there's been or four-year school transfers. It's a way of the times right now, and we just need to find, as a whole committee and as an association, the best way to make it, you know, safe for everybody, so to speak, I guess, and where programs don't get damaged because of it.
I appreciate your question, Chad. The Great Dane with 4 locations in the Madison area, east side of town, downtown, Fitchburg, as well as Hilldale. Coach Gard's radio show returns to the Great Dane Hilldale this Wednesday night, January 31st at 6 o'clock. And up north, of course, the Great Dane up and running up in Wausau. A couple of home games this week for the Badgers. Monday night here at the Kohl Center against Nebraska, 8 o'clock tip. And then on Thursday evening, 7:30 here at the Kohl Center against Northwestern. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
Honoring all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. Every division, every sport, the Learfield Directors Cup. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook, find us online and on Twitter. The Learfield Directors Cup.
Make all the right moves in the brand new Nissan Rogue Sport. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility Technologies, like automatic emergency braking that can help you stop safely. Automatic emergency braking now on the Nissan Rogue family. Save up to $10,260 on select models or get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
A pulse, felt by one, sends a ripple, felt by some. A shiver, felt by many, until it amplifies, magnifies into a tremor that electrifies. Badgers everywhere, moving as one, tilting the world on its axis.